Hey there. I mentioned a few days ago that we had a couple of holes in our Arctic Oven fly after our last 9-day trip. So this is where they are, and they are at the back by our stove jack. So this is one right here, and another one up there, and they are actually a little bigger than what I initially thought. And the tent has been hanging for 5 days now. I did give it a good, the back of it I gave a good rinse because we had creosote drip down off of the rain hat, which, you know, we had disagreed on using the rain hat on the stovepipe because we were in for a rainstorm that really never came. But we did have some drizzle and some misting, and because it was so warm, we weren't burning super hot, so that hat did clog a little bit, and anything that was dripping off of it did cause some creosote to drip down the back of the tent. So yeah, it's not very nice looking anymore. It is what it is. It means that our tent has been used and loved, and it doesn't affect the actual tent itself. It doesn't affect the use of the fly itself or the efficiency of it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to fix these holes, or what I'm going to do to fix these holes. There is a couple, and these are old ones over here, and this is what I wanted to show you. So there's a little pinhole right here, and it is kind of hard to tell. That one has been patched. That's an old one, and this is another old one. So for my method, there's a couple more on the tent, but I'm not going to pull. It's kind of hard to pull this great big mass of 12 by 18 fly around by myself. So I'm just going to show you how to fix these ones right here. So what I'm using, and a couple of people did ask what I'm using to repair it. So I am using the Tenacious Tape repair tape. I bought it online at MEC several years ago. So we've used this for some repairs. This is probably our third or fourth, maybe our fourth year of using this. So this is how it comes. It's a nice big roll. And it doesn't really look like a huge amount, but we aren't fixing huge holes. So what I do is I cut smaller pieces that are going to be covering these. So, you know, in comparison, just to show you, that's going to go over top of that. And I'm not going to put it on the outside of the tent. What we have found in our experience is that anything that goes on the outside of the tent is way more exposed to the elements. If I really wanted to, I could do repairs on both the inside and the outside of the tent and sandwich them. And I guess in reality, that's how you really should be doing it. But for this tent, because it only sees winter use, the minor repairs that I've done here have lasted. And in fact, I was looking at the body, and there was another repair that I used, a clear Tenacious Tape. There's an old repair right there, and you can't really tell. I think it's on the other side. You can't really tell. So I know that the color of the repair is not the same. I've tried to match it the best that I could, but apart from going to Arctic Oven and asking for more material and then cutting out a patch and resewing a patch, which is not what I want to do. Arctic Oven is in Alaska. It's just way more work than the few burn holes that we have. So I'm going to go ahead and put these. So I've cut them for the size of the hole. And the other thing to point out, it just has a backing on it that you peel off and adhere. You just press it and hold for a few minutes. I have rounded the corners, and that's kind of like a key thing for any kind of tent repair that you would do. So this is Tenacious Tape, and it's for nylon, all kinds of materials for tents. And as I said, I did buy it at MEC. I want to say it was something like maybe 10 or 15 bucks. But for the small amount that I've used and what's left on the roll, it's quite a bit. So I'm just going to move this around. My apologies if it's kind of loud, but it's not very easy to negotiate this tight fire yourself. So I'm just flipping it around to show the underside of the fly here. There. Oh, there's that one. So this one was probably our very first hole, burn hole, and that is just it's just a clear tape. that's on there, and it's held up. You can notice how I did cut this one because it was our first one. That's how I can tell it was our first one. This one's square, so I should probably pull that off and replace it, but I think I'll just leave it for now. And then this is the underside. So I did wash the tent to try and get some of the creosote off, and I did use a Nikwax, just a tent wash, just a gentle, and I only washed this end of the tent, and it was very surprising how much creosote did come out. It was stained way worse than this, and as I said, you know, I'm not happy about it, but I'm not unhappy. It's still, it doesn't affect the performance of the tent. It just means that it's been used and loved. So I'm gonna go ahead and put those on. I'm gonna pause this just to make sure that I'm getting them in place, and then I'll restart it. But that's pretty much it. These are just gonna go in place right here. One there, and the other one I'm kind of worried about because it's very close to the jack, is that one, but I'm going to overlap it, and we'll see. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.